I would like to talk about a distinction that is vitally important on this journey to realization, to deepening into the knowledge or awakening to the awareness that we are all of life, that we're not really in truth separate. Okay. And this distinction has to do with the divine and everything having to do with the world of form, the human beings, what they created. Okay. And the divine is something which is also creator, God, whatever words you want to use, truth, consciousness, is in itself completely trustworthy. It is undivided, whole. It is what we are, and it doesn't betray. It can't because it's inclusive. It's not separate. Now, all of the things that have been created out of separation, including the beliefs that we have about ourselves, identity, personality in a way, besides the innate thing that you've been born with, uniqueness of you, the human created dramas, pain body, the collective consciousness that is got an immense pain body because of separation, how it's being played out, and the way that human beings treat each other, the world, animals, nature, wars, everything that arises out of division that causes human created suffering is a completely different thing than the divine. And so often, and what I mean by this is that so often people place their trust in the world of humans, the human created aspect of the world, relationships and all that. And it's natural, right? And get hurt. And betrayals take place because human beings are human beings and they're deficient in so many ways. We are. And many of us are doing our best and trying not to hurt others. Others are not so kind and good and or else plain unconscious and cause pain due to that. And betrayals arise and traumas arise and wounds arise, right? And it can happen from childhood and family systems, can happen later in life in relationships, uh, work, or being betrayed in different ways. Oh, come on, there's so many ways, right? Lied to, cheated on, things stolen or cheat, so many ways that people betray one another. And that I would like to be able to see if you can just set that aside in one category, the human created mess that we all have participated in and participate in some ways, which we're trying to, refine, but just all that mess. And then in this category, I'd like for you to think about truth, intelligence, God, all of that which is already whole, which we're connected to and one with, okay? And what people tend to do is they smush that together and then have a really hard time trusting in what they're opening to with truth because their trust issues get projected, which is natural, onto something that is completely outside the sphere. It's not even the same animal. It's actually very sad and immature as a spiritual seeker to be doing that. And don't we all do it? Immature in the sense that not wrong or bad, just that it's just false. It's just wrong. It's the wrong belief. It's a belief. And so what I try to do in my teaching is to try to introduce to people the concept that trusting in God and the divine and what you're open to, your being, the wholeness that you're opening to not carry your mistrust that has been building up and has caused so much pain that lives in your heart and maybe in your cells in your body, to try to extricate and separate and realize that you can't, that it's not correct to project onto what you're opening to the pain that has taken place in one's life and carry that over. And the reason why it's so important is because there will be a protection, a stopping inside that is like, nope, it might be unconscious and not even aware. This is something you can do to bring it out of hiding, is your awareness of it, is that truth is free of qualities. So placing your idea of what God is, what truth is, full of qualities, and this is not the only one that people tend to do, the only quality, but trusting in what you're opening to is paramount to letting go. And if you're placing your mistrust onto truth, you're going to put a stop. There's going to be a halt. You won't be able to go further, and you'll be maybe bumping up against and wondering why can't I let go into this that I say that I want so much, into truth. And this is the main reason why, is because there is a lack of understanding that they're apples and oranges. They're not even the same fruit. They don't even exist in the same universe. One is the universe of form that human beings have created, which they also call Maya, right? I'm not talking about nature and all life. I'm talking about human beings, what they do and project onto life and live out, and what you're and the being and presence. They're completely different. One is it has identity, and one has, false belief contained within it, which can create pain and leads to pain over and over. You see it. It's happening in the world right now, all the time. And the other one is this the sanctuary of the uncreated, that which is always here, always been here, and is free and empty of experience, and is our refuge. So I hope you can understand what I'm pointing to here, that there is something that is fully deserving of our trust and surrender, because it doesn't betray. It doesn't have a personality that's going to go bite you in the ass. Sabotage, you know, turn the other, just be cruel, um, turn against you. It's not going to happen. Okay. And, but, and it's always there. It's your refuge. The divine is a refuge. And I decided a while ago, a good while ago, to place my bets in the divine, because I have my own wounded stories of wounds, of being betrayed in life, Human beings are human beings, and and people do what they do, they just do. And we are meant to be able to feel and go through healing and our process with what is created through the human being world, right? I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing. I'm not talking about transcending away. I'm talking about just separating out the egg white from the egg yolk and going, I'm not going to mix the two of how I experience the human domain and what my expectations, my ideas are, and projecting it onto the spiritual domain, because that is just going to hang you up and keep one from the surrender into this that we are, that is being asked for, and which is blissful and beautiful. And they're meant to go side by side, be side by side as companions. One is, I often say, two wings of a bird. The one wing is the wing of free of content, free of beliefs and identity, empty, and full of possibility, really. And the other one is the form which also gets divinized over time through um, making things conscious and having this freedom blend and help mend this that is in belief about separation. Okay. But try not to muddy up that which is always open and here and available with your pain, and project it onto your wounds, one's wounds, onto that which is empty. It's all belief. Okay. I hope this helps. I hope that you're able to try this out and work on it and see, oh my goodness, am I projecting onto truth, onto I use different words. That's why I struggle sometimes, because I want to find the right word, but everyone has their own word. I'm comfortable in this case using God or creator or divine, but you use what you want, what works for you. And that does not betray, and that is not what is causing this human dilemma. Human beings are causing the human dilemma, the problems of the world. And yes, we work on and help and try to help the problems of the world, but don't muddy up the domain of what is free and good and true with the confusion that human beings contain. All right. Warm wishes to you.